Hi, I'm Libby Papakiriakou, a consultant at Baker Richards, and I'm going to show you 3 ways to find new audiences using the Advantage dashboard. So first up, you need to understand who they are and identify them in your data set. So the dashboard comes with some out-of-the-box segmentations. This is an RFV segmentation and it divides into existing audiences and their types of behaviour, but also new audiences and their types of behaviour. So here we're looking at new high spenders, but you can also look at new low spenders. And this dashboard here just shows you some of the ways that they behave with some key performing indicators such as their average value, the average ticket value, how far away from the venue they live, what they've been going to, and how they compare with other segments in this chart over here on the right. You can change that to your low spenders and see how that changes their behaviour. So we can see here that their ticket value has dropped to £12. So really that's just giving you some information to understand what your current new bookers are doing, what they are, how they're behaving, and then you can look at ways to attract new audiences with that understanding. So let's try and understand what your new audiences are actually going to, so we can see which programming is pulling in new audiences, and maybe you can look at programming more of it, or identifying areas in the program that you can sort of earmark for gathering new audiences. So this chart is looking at your season, and we've defined that season with various different date parameters and event parameters. So each of these bars shows a different type of performance. So we can see things like classical plays down here, contemporary plays, film talks, and so on. And we can see here, let's look at the green new high spenders. We can see that percentage kind of fluctuates depending on the category of performance. So we can see drama new writing isn't really pulling in very many new high spenders, but comedy and comedians is pulling in far more. So let's just try and understand that a little bit more and switch this chart really quickly over to total sold and reserved. So now we can look at the actual number of tickets. So we can see here that actually, yes, comedy and comedians is also, as well as being a high proportion of the total tickets sold, it's also quite a lot of tickets. What's that? Let's hover over it. 1,325 tickets sold to new high spenders. So this would help you identify that comedy and comedians is a good programme stream to bring in new audiences. You can then drill down further and just look at particular performances. You could see which particular comedians are bringing in the new audiences, and maybe some are not, and see what else you could do there. So finally, let's think about new audiences in terms of your audience development goals. So you can look at various different census dimensions with the dashboard and compare it against your database. So in this example here, we're looking at social grade, and we've got a little bar chart that's showing your customers, the selected area, which defaults to your region, your local region, and nationwide. So that's divided into the 4 different social grade areas: A, B, C1, C2, and DE. And then on the right hand side, we can see a chart here that's showing that this organisation is overperforming or overrepresenting in the A-B social grade. So we might have an organisational objective to increase the number of DE audience members. So let's see how we can go and find them. And the mapping functionality that we have in the dashboard can help you to do this. So on the left hand side, in the left map, we've got a map of the sort of density of bookers for a particular selection of events or dates or customers. So we can filter in all sorts of different ways to see where your bookers are coming from. And then we can compare that on the right with the census. So this is showing where the population density of DE social grade households are living in the east of England. So we can see there are some higher density areas around sort of North Norfolk, Peterborough, that's Luton over there. And then we can go ahead and look on the left and see how are we performing? Not too many tickets purchased in those areas for this organisation. So we can identify, okay, so that might be where we want to put some audience development activity, whether that's outreach or kind of advertising or kind of making ticket offers available and so on in a kind of geographical way to help identify where you can get those types of audience members from. So to recap, you can use the Advantage dashboard to identify your new audiences within your existing data set, to understand how your new audiences are behaving, and to find new audiences using our mapping tools. There's loads more to the dashboard and we'd love to show you around, so get in touch to find out more.